Indonesia is a country with the second longest coastline in the whole world, with about 99,000 kilometers. This condition makes coastal areas prone to violation because the effort to keep an eye on it is difficult. It requires a lot of resource and manpower to monitor all of the areas. In this case, I will tell a story about two cases of spatial violation in the coastal areas of Indonesia. With the first case about the case of Kelingking Beach outdoor lift. Kelingking Beach is one of the 1,000 tourist destinations in Bali. The beach is located on West Nusa Penida Island, in Nusa Penida district, Bali. The name Kelingking Beach itself is taken because the shape of the beach is somewhat like a little finger, although some also say it resembles a T-Rex. However, enjoying this beach requires considerable effort. Tourists who wish to visit Kelingking Beach must descend stairs on a steep cliff with an incline reaching 70 until 80 degrees, a very challenging terrain. This access route has also claimed victims. On Friday afternoon, August 11, 2023, a foreign tourist was reported to have suffered an injury after slipping on the cliff stairs. Consequently, the victim, a 45-year-old French national with the initial Mrs. E, suffered a dislocation to her right shoulder. Therefore, the facilitated tourist project is being built to speed up and provide safer options for tourists to access the beach. To facilitate tourists, Kelingking Beach tourist attraction will be equipped with an outdoor glass lift, reaching a height of 182 meters. With the lift, which will be called the glass viewing platform, tourists will no longer need to walk down the steep cliff to reach the Kelingking Beach coastline. This project is a collaboration between a Chinese investor, PT BNP, or Bina Nusa Property as the authority holder, and Banjar Adat Karangdawa in Bunga Mekar village, with an investment value of around 200 billion. Construction of the glass lift project has already begun, marked by the groundbreaking ceremony on Friday of 7 July 2023. The glass lift is being built to a height of approximately 182 meters plus a 64-meter bridge. Photo spots will be built at every 20-meter height interval. This project by PT Indonesia Kaishi Tourism Property Investment Development Group committed 10 types of violation that categorized into 5 severe violation category. The first one is a special planning violation. Referring to the Bali Provincial Regional Regulation, Perda number 3 of 2020, concerning the Bali Provincial Spatial Plan, the glass lift project and its supporting structures committed 5 violations. And for this violation, administrative sanction involving building demolition and special function restoration shall be imposed. The second one is environmental violation. Based on government regulation, or PP number 5 of 2021, concerning the implementation of race-based business licensing, the project organizer does not possess the environmental permit and only holds a recommendation for environmental management efforts and environmental monitoring efforts, or OKL-OPL. And for this violation, administrative sanction in the form of government coercion for demolition shall be imposed. The third one is business licensing violation. Also referring to PP number 5 of 2021, 2 violations were found. The KKPR is inconsistent, and the building approval, or PBG, was only issued for the ticket counter building and did not cover the elevated bridge and lift. The sanction for this violation is the cessation of all activities. The fourth violation is marine spatial planning violation. According to Law number 27 of 2007 and Bali's Governor Decree number 1828 of 2017 concerning the management plan and zoning of the Nusa Penida Marine Conservation Area in Bali Province. The following violations were found. The concrete foundation structure is located on the marine conservation area, and the construction of tourism facilities, including the glass lift, is prohibited in this area. And for this violation, the administrative sanction is imposed is building demolition. And the fifth one is the cultural tourism violation, which is referring to the Bali Provincial Regulation, Perda number 5 of 2020, concerning the standards for the implementation of Balinese cultural tourism. The project organizer altered the originality of the Kelingking tourist destination, and for this violation, there is threat of criminal sanction. And based on this violation, the governor Foster and Regent Satria ordered the developer to halt construction and demolish all structure within 6 months, and to restore the special function no later than 3 months thereafter. Should PT Indonesia Kaishi Tourism Property Investment Development Group fail to conduct the demolition independently within the decided deadline, the Bali provincial government, together with the Kelungkung Regency government, will take over the demolition in accordance with prevailing laws and regulations. Governor Koster affirmed that this firm action was taken to ensure the business and investment activities in Bali strictly comply with regulation while simultaneously safeguarding the preservation of Bali's natural ecosystem, culture, and local wisdom. The second case study is Benua Bay Reclamation Controversy. Benua Bay is a 1,400-hectare coastal ecosystem in southern Bali near Ngurah Rai International Airport. The bay features rich mangrove forests and supports 150,000 residents who depend on traditional fishing. It holds profound cultural significance with 70 sacred Hindu landmarks, including 60 natural holy sites essential for Balinese religious ceremonies. In 2011, Benua Bay was officially designated as a conservation zone, so the problem occurs in 2012 when PT Tirta Wahana Bali International, or TWBI, proposed the Nusa Benua Mega Project, planning to reclaim 1,700 until 1,800 hectares over 30 years with 30 trillion rupiah investment. The development will create 12 artificial islands featuring luxury resorts, cruise harbor, Formula One race course, golf course, and shopping districts. In 2014, presidential regulation changed Benua Bay status from conservation zone to investment focus zone under the MP3EI Economic Development Program, providing legal support for the project. This project violates several rules. The first one is special planning violation, which is the law number 26 2007, which is about special planning law. The 2014 presidential regulation is illegally changed the conservation zone status without proper procedures. And then the Perda Bali number 16 year 2009, which is the Bali Provincial Special Plan. The Commission contradicted provincial designation of Benua Bay as conservation and environmental buffer zone. And then the second one is environmental violation, which is the PP number 37 of 2012 about environmental impact assessment, which is the project is like proper under approval from central government. And then the law number 32 year 2009 about environmental protection and management, which is the project is destroying 17 hectares of mangrove forest without required mitigation measures. Action taken so far from 2013 to 2019 for Bali maintained only protest and advocacy. In July 2015, 1,500 people marched demanding cancellation. In June 9, 2019, Environment Minister Siti Nurbaya withheld environmental permit citing strong local opposition. And the October 4 in the same year, Ministry of Maritime Affairs issued decree designating 2,200 hectares as conservation zone, effectively banning reclamation. The original $2 billion permit expired without approval. In August 2020, during COVID-19 pandemic, the Bali representative discreetly approved coastal zoning plan 2020-2040, allowing sand mining and port expansion, exploiting loopholes in the 2019 decree. And in the recent years, PT Pelindo the third began reclamation for port expansion, destroying 17 hectares of mangroves. Governor Koster ordered work stop. Deputy Minister Ridwan Jamaluddin apologized, calling it a fundamental error and confirmed the project would stop. And for the current status, For Bali demands full recovery of damaged areas and presidential decree annulling the 2014 regulation. As of 2024, the base status remains contested between conservation and development pressures. In conclusion, the Benua Bay and Clicking Beach case reveals critical flaws in Indonesia's special planning system. Regulatory loopholes allowing conservation and protection zones to be reclassified, weak enforcement despite multiple laws, and elite interests overriding community rights. This case emphasizes the urgent need for stronger legal frameworks, enforcement mechanism, transparency, meaningful community participation, and accountability for violation. It serves as a warning about balancing economic growth with environmental sustainability and cultural preservation in Indonesia's high-value tourism area.